Tech Life Steph. What you got time in the
Yes.
show? I think you have another spotlight for us. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about Kim Folsom?
Let's talk about Kim Folsom. Kim Folsom is a co founder, CEO, and managing partner of Founders First Capital Partners LLC, and she is the founder and interim CEO of Lyft Development Enterprises, Inc. Kim Folsom co-founded Founders First Capital Partners in San Diego in 2015 to provide a virtual small business growth accelerator and revenue-based venture fund focused on helping underserved small businesses achieve exponential growth. Driven to help micro businesses succeed, Kim also founded Lyft Development Enterprises, Inc., a nonprofit community development organization to help underserved and underrepresented small business owners overcome the challenges they face due to lack of access to capital. Both organizations represent a new, innovative breed of programs that address the gap in funding companies led by underserved and diverse founders. Prior to launching Lyft and Founders First, Folsom was a high tech executive and serial entrepreneur with more than 25 years of experience growing innovative technology companies. She has experience founding, leading, and building startups for which she has raised $30 million in institutional venture financing. Folsom has leveraged her unique entrepreneurial experience to launch six companies, successfully exit three, and launch her seventh firm with a revenue based venture fund of $100 million in committed capital. Prior to Pepperdine Grazidio, I'm not butchering that. Folsom spent 8 years trying to find a way to launch her own venture backed entrepreneurial tech journey as an underrepresented founder. While enrolled in the MBA program, her cohort helped her discover her unique path to entrepreneurship. The interaction with her classmates, rigorous class assignments, and discussion with professors aided in her developing the confidence and strategy to launch her first startup tech company, SeminarSource.com. Folsom successfully carries out the mission of Founders First by leveraging her years of entrepreneurial experience to help hundreds of other underrepresented founders get funding for growing their companies. This was off of Pepperdine's website. I guess she got her MBA at Pepperdine, so that was what that little Pepperdine sidebar in there was about. But I picked her specifically because I had a chance to meet and speak with Kim recently at a conference that I emceed back in, I believe it was March. And I am really cool with one of her, I don't know her exact title, but if anybody that is watching or listening has a startup company, tech company, hit me up and slide in my DMs. I can, if you have a deck and you're legit and you have a deck, I can probably see about putting your deck in the hands of some people at Founders First. I have some connects there. But she really, I'm just was super impressed with her and the way she built that fund and is really focused on underserved and underrepresented founders exclusively, pretty much. And is just she was a very serious woman, but she was about her business and about getting money in the hands of the folks that really need it, that don't get the opportunity to get it. So again, if anybody knows somebody, if you're working on a startup yourself and you have a legitimate deck, they look at I don't know that they do that first angel round. I'm not sure. I think you don't have to be like Series A, but you definitely have to have some demonstrated revenue already and sort of be well within that process. I don't know that much about that process, but if you need some money, if you're raising money
No.
right now, I may be able to help. So hit me in my DMs, and I might be able to help with that.
It is awesome, what she's doing. And, it'd be lovely if he could get her, her or someone who does things similar to her, on the show to talk about that. Because, we've had shows like this before, and we just talk about how hard it is for folks like us, particularly women who look like us, to get funding. It is laughable how little has gone out to minority founders. I mean, it is laughable.
I'm
But
curious. Side note: I'm curious in general how hot the startup quote unquote ecosystem is nowadays, because back in the 2000 and I can remember when going to South by Southwest and all these companies, all these young folks, all these tech founders jockeying for position. And then you hear about all these companies raising all this capital. It's kind of, am I tripping, or did that kind of die down, or is not as sexy anymore? I'm of course, we aren't getting the equal amount of the startup, but is anybody in general nowadays anymore as much?
Well, I think the answer is yes and no. So what has changed is that VCs generally have just stopped throwing good money after bad. There was a time when you could say, I'm a founder. I got a CTO of the company. Here's our idea. And if it
You could
made
get
sense,
you could get funded
you
off
could
an
get founded
idea.
and you would get
Yep.
started off of just an idea.
Yep.
That is changing a little bit. It's like, okay, now it's like, tell me more, show me how this is going to work. How are we going to make money here, and here? So they've stopped just throwing money blindly at companies, seeing what would stick. That being said, there's still a lot of venture money out there that is being
There's still
thrown,
people getting
not
money.
thrown around. It is being doled out,
Yep.
strategically into companies where these folks think that are going to be able to make money. So it's absolutely there. We're seeing more of it, in spaces that affect us, for people who look like us, by people who look like us, and even some who don't.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing that, but we are so far behind, the curve, compared to our white counterparts. So it is still happening, but it's just not happening with the reckless abandon that you saw back in the day.
It's funny you said ecosystem, because the person I know at Founders First, her title is ecosystem builder. So I will
I know
actually
all the
reach out.
buzzwords.
Right. I'll reach out to her and see if we can't get her on for next month.
That would be awesome.
Kind of give us a state of the startup, ecosystem report, if you will. Yeah. So I'll reach out.